if they can get him tilted in a sense and make sure they win that opening 1v1 fight into B, whoever that is on Echo Fox, they can definitely turn this map in their favor and start to build some momentum here.
Well, Echo Fox, as you mentioned, are going to need to start off very, very strong here in map number 2 if they want any chance of potentially causing a bit of an upset here at the Atlantic City Open. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, as I mentioned earlier on, this is a map which EnVyUs have had 89% success rate throughout this season. They are 9-8 going into Atlantic City on Reclaim. So for Echo Fox, this is going to be a very, very steep mountain that they need to climb. But we're going to kick things off now on board with Franchise from Team EnVyUs.
Yes, we are here. We saw he made it in there without being contested too much. When we saw Echo Fox play E United on this map earlier, towards their playstyle, they like to let people, they like to bait people into certain locations and use their team fire to take advantage of them and win those fights. So they had no problem letting Franchise get in. They were trying to take the angles and make a secondary play on top of Team EnVyUs to get in there.
Well, now looking over at Cloud's perspective, Ribs has just been able to shut down Kyle. As Cloud's just trying to stay alive there. Doesn't necessarily need to make too much of an overzealous play, especially considering the fact that Ribs was able to secure that B hill. And you can see Team EnVyUs now with a 2-1 hill advantage. They're going to be building themselves that lead. Currently stands at 64 to 48 points and growing, of course. Now looking over towards Crushmo's perspective. Is he potentially going to try and make that play over towards C? He does have a call out from his teammates, and there will be a couple of Team EnVyUs players to his right-hand side. They get the down on Toy Soldier, and Crushmo smells blood. Immediately springs into life, finds one. Can he try and find the double kill? That'd be big, especially considering the fact that he is, in fact, on Team EnVyUs' home hill as well.
And so, also, one thing that we saw with Echo Fox did with United earlier, early on in the game, they put a big power weapon down low. I believe they actually put EnVyUs down there because it's a difficult thing to regain control over the B hill when you're playing against a top team once they actually get set up. So if it's a power weapon on the bottom of the map, they can get a good flow on the map where one team can't technically stack in one area. So let's say, for example, if EnVyUs was down there on the bottom of the map, EnVyUs will have to play for it, and they cannot fortify on top of the B hill the way they are right now.
Stands, Clouds on your screens. The deficit around about 30 points. Team members have done well to hold this 2-1 hill advantage and build that massive lead essentially at this point in the game. We'll see if somehow Echo Fox can spring into life over towards the B hill. They've had a couple of pushes and it just hasn't worked. Once again, Ribs finds himself a double, looking for more as well. He will clean up Crash for the triple kill. Crushmo, sadly, the only player who was able to pick up any kills. And EnVyUs, they managed to get 4 down, sadly not in quick succession. And somehow, Crushmo actually winning that 1v1 there has overextended and also being able to put some pressure on EnVyUs' home hill.
Yeah, and Crushmo is trying to keep his team in it and make a play here. Both home hills almost in favor of Echo Fox. Team EnVyUs will regain control of their home hill. Now is the time to take over B hill. And we're going to see Franco and Crash get up there on top of that B to decap it. Now Franchise just needs to make sure he defends his home hill, but he already sees the Echo Fox players mobilizing over there towards this side of the map. And he's going to have to stand strong here. He's going to look for a shot here, but he's going to actually, Klaus goes down, but Franco gets Franchise.
Echo Fox desperately trying to make the play. This is 209 points, and somehow Echo Fox have stopped the clock. The kill's going in their favor. The C hill's capped. The A hill's being capped as well. Is there anyone over at the B hill for Echo Fox to try and make the play? B and A now completely neutral. Echo Fox, you're going to need to cap the hills. You're not going to be able to win this just off one hill. A now being fully capped. B's being capped as well. EnVyUs, they need to break their home hill. They're flooding in. They're on the C hill, but Echo Fox are still there, and they have resources. Franchise, though, he's able to shut down one. Rib shuts down Crash as well, and that should surely be the hill as Franchise secures the kill on Clouds. It was looking dangerous, though, for Team EnVyUs. In fact, C's still neutral. Who was that? Kyle, you cheeky little ninja, just flew through the smoke grenade, managed to get the neutralization, but boy, oh boy, that could have gone out of control there for Team EnVyUs.
They stopped that clock at 2:09.
Woo. That's where it gets dangerous. That's where it gets very dangerous indeed. But of course, for Echo Fox, they're left in that position where EnVyUs are just flooding at them.
Yeah, this isn't a bad round to lose. It really isn't, especially when they start aiming down here towards bottom of the map. Workshop, Kyle, they love these Marxes here, man. They love the Marxes. They love the Botox, and so these Marxes alone will be able to give them a little extra oomph to regaining control over the B. That's what they decide to do. I think they look here. If not here, they go to Workshop. They may go to Workshop maybe in round 2, 3. That's if they continue to lose, of course.
Right.
But we're going to see. But I think it's definitely going to be their staple. It's going to be the Marxes.
Yep, Marks are dropped over towards Forge and Construction. Team EnVyUs So starting off strong with that first round win. Of course, if you are just tuning in, again, to reiterate, EnVyUs are 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series. This is the winners bracket semifinal as well. So the win here will progress you through to that winners bracket final, which we played on Championship Sunday tomorrow here at Caesars in Atlantic City. Now, round number 2, Franchise is going to kick things off on board with his perspective, already making his way over towards that B hill, and he's going to immediately find a couple of players directly in front of him. Is he going to be able to clean him up? Yes, he is. That's Cloudstown looking for the second, finds Franco as well. Hey, why not go for a third? There's a couple more players just around the corner, and he did actually connect with that shot as well on Kyle as he scurried away from the B hill.
They're going to get that down over there by Wells. That's going to be by Echo Fox as well. Kyle's going to get cleaned up by Solars. That was 3 members that died there in that fight for B. So we're going to actually see if the Marxes get put to use, but the Marxes aren't in play. I want to say Kyle died with his Marxes, so they're going to have to wait for another minute and 30 for those to respawn. But at this point, I think we're going to see Team EnVyUs. They're going to make sure they try to control both Marxes up top. They're trying to play for this domination as well, but I don't think Echo Fox is going to be having any of that, and I could be wrong because you're going to have Praised and Ribs at Echo Fox's front door trying to get this home hill. Can Crash do anything about it? He's going to break in here. He's going to have help from his teammates, but Solars on the flank is just being a nuisance, and Team EnVyUs will get this domination.
Yes, they will. It was kind of a flip from what we saw at the end of the first round, of course, but Team EnVyUs able to just secure that one out. It only took them 1 minute 9 seconds to lock in that triple cap domination to win round number 2. And again, just that slaying presence so strong from Team EnVyUs. And now for Echo Fox, they're back on weapon placement for their second time so far this game. You said maybe, if things don't go their way, they might start looking down towards Workshop. Probably maybe, a few rounds after this, potentially maybe, round 3, 4.
Yeah, I definitely see the progression is going to go Marxa, Botox, then Workshop. We're going to get something bigger down there to pretty much kind of draw the fight, which is cool because Team EnVyUs, if they win the opening fight and they get control over B, breaking that is so hard once they fortify.
Yeah.
With their teamwork and their Lancers, it's practically almost impossible. So Echo Fox, if they cannot take this round, hey, they got to just flip the map on them.
And again, we talked about Franchise in map number 1. Guess what? He's continued where he left off. 7 kills so far with just 2 rounds played. Ribs, though, leading the team in terms of kills. Currently set with 10 to his name as well. But round number 3 now underway. And you can see on that overhead a pretty similar mirror matchup of strategies from both our 2 squads here. As Clout's now starting to make his way over towards that B hill for Echo Fox. Puts himself into that corner just where he can't be shot. Just trying to be sneaky, waiting for his teammates to potentially put some damage down. And then maybe for an actual cap here, potentially, if the kills do go in their favor.
And here you go. At this time, we're going to see Echo Fox actually break in here, and they're going to control B, but Team EnVyUs is pushing back in here, and Frank got a big kill on Frank in the back. He did clean up the kill, but didn't get on the first shot. He may have been able to survive the second time, and Praise goes down to Crash, and this hill, I may have spoken too soon. And thank God I didn't say it, but because Ribs comes in, and he starts to get control over this B hill.
I feel like Ribs has a cape on his back right now because he's playing like a superhero, clutching up when his teammates need him to do just that. He will control that B hill. Now, of course, for Team EnVyUs, you have to make that decision. Are you going to just immediately flood back towards that B hill, help Ribs out, or cap your home hill? It looks like Ribs may have actually just bought his teammates enough time there where they will actually be able to secure their home hill. Maybe actually Ribs could be sneaky here and just try and defend that B hill as well. Ribs really trying to do it all here for the squad. Franchise, meanwhile, he shut down Clouds, and you could potentially see even more kills there for Ribs up top, but now switching over to Kyle's perspective from Echo Fox. You see him just trying to do some damage.
Yes, you do here. Franchise did a great job pushing back up there on top of the B hill. Him and Ribs was the good support system there for him. And so Team EnVyUs, they have the 2 cap. They're looking good here. Boltok and Marxes are on the map. Echo Fox not able to use the Marks to his fullest potential yet to regain control over those hills. But Echo Fox knows that, hey, you know what, we just can't get up there yet. So they're trying to just mobilize across the map and just try to get to those home hills.
Exactly that. Frank taking a little bit of damage, so he is going to stay behind cover for now. Doesn't necessarily need to peek, get a bit overzealous, but EnVyUs, one of the best team shooting teams in the game, essentially. Their team fire is sublime. They call out a target, and everyone aims at them, and they put that damage down. It just helps them out when those close quarter gunfights do come in their way. Meanwhile, Fran, he's just playing. He's playing with style. He's playing with panazzle almost at this point. Challenge him. Why not? Fran's most likely going to try and get that kill as well. Unfortunately, he does fall. There was 2 players there from Echo Fox, and we're just able to force Franchise out of position. And with that, Echo Fox now will be able to secure the B hill.
And so Echo Fox, so far they're good. Just a 26-point deficit. Ribs was full red, and Kyle had just caught him, and he's trying to get the one down low here as well. He's trying to get some shots slow. That's the one thing about the Marksa, slow and steady.
Yep.
Make sure you connect with those shots. It has a lot of kick to it. But with a 2-hill cap, Echo Fox can take the lead. So we're going to see how they want to fortify on top of this B hill because, as you see, Team EnVyUs in front of us, they're trying to group up together because they're about to make a push on top of B.
And the key reason behind that is look at that scoreboard, top left of your screen, 188 to 178. It's a 10-point lead as it stands for Team EnVyUs. But Echo Fox, they have a 2-to-1 hill advantage. I think they recognize, hey, we may actually have to potentially make a play here. As Team EnVyUs, they seem happy just potentially just on that one hill. But this is going to get dangerously close in terms of score. Surely it's going to go tight. Oh, a big kill comes in from Solus. The B hill is going to be neutralized, as is the A hill. And just like that, Echo Fox will lose control of the round. Team EnVyUs go 3-0 up.
I think Solus was at 17% there after that shot.
17%?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I had it. Don't worry.
I definitely thought that was going to be a double kill by Kyle there. Now, do they want to make this play here? I think Workshop's the play, man. I really do. But it looks like they want to look for up top, and they just want to make sure they fought. That at the end of that last round, they won it. They actually got into B.
This is true.
They got control early on. They fought for it, so maybe they found Team EnVyUs. They got their flow, so to speak. They know exactly what they're doing. So we'll see if this is going to be what they can use to counter on.
Well, it's not going to be the drop shot or the boom shot, but it will, of course, be the torque boat up top. Our respawn delay now, of course, at 16 seconds as we jump into round number 4 of action. And once again, it's Ribs and Franchise still lead slaying for Team EnVyUs. Echo Fox, they may be 3-0 down, but some of these rounds have been very, very close. It's almost surprising that this is a 3-0 game. But there, of course, a look now at our mini-map. You can see, again, the similar breakouts from both our two squads, but you may see some extra resources up top, just simply because that torque boat does hold a little bit of weight with our players.
Oh, Franchise with the opening kill once again. At first, I almost thought Echo Fox was going to bait them in there for that torque boat, but Fran doing a good job making sure, hey, before he gets that torque boat, he's going to help his teammate clean up the kills. That's going to be 3 members down. The last member, that's all dead. All dead, and now they're just about to go and get this domination. Toys already down low, and that's going to be 4-0 Team EnVyUs.
And once again, it's one of those situations where Echo Fox tried to make the bold play. They tried to dictate the pace by putting down a big, heavy power weapon. But once again, Team EnVyUs is just too strong. It's almost as if as soon as they see something like that, they go into another gear.
If Klaus is going to be the first one to go in there on top of that B hill, when he actually goes in, he needs to kind of cut it wide because he knows the opposing team is going to take the corner closest to him. So he has to go in there, he has to push towards the angle and create space so he doesn't get one shot at the way he did when he came in there before and kind of make that fight last a lot longer than what it was here. But weapon placement, Echo Fox still have a block to use, and with the big power weapon being up top, you usually don't want to see 2 of these on the map unless it's a counter when a team puts down a drop shot and you kind of counter and put in a boom shot across the map. And at that point, it's really just a big coin flip. But the block is going to be put mid-map, and Team EnVyUs so much success here. Fran leading his team. We're going to see on this opening push, can he get in there once again?
Well, that's going to be the question as it stands. Team EnVyUs 4-0 up here in the first half, of course, of Reclaimed. As we're now on board with Franco from Echo Fox, starting to push over towards that B hill.
And so now, coming in here, we're going to see no kills happening just yet, but Franco goes down, but Klaus, he picks up a kill. Crash, accidentally with the friendly fire, was able to kill Kyle. The melee came out. They're trying to stay alive, but Ribs comes in there and gets the double. They're going to back the rest of the team up. And now, Torpo being picked up here by Praise. That's going to be 4 down once again. Team EnVyUs pushing forward here. Crushmo has to defend his home hill with his Voltok.
Well, looking now over at Crushmo's perspective, we'll see if he's going to be able to defend that. And it's going to be Ribs that goes down. Is now looking for potentially more. Already it is advantage Team EnVyUs in this one, 47 to 41 points, 2-1 hill advantage as well.
And so now, revving up this torque boat, Praise looking for his first target here. And not going to find it just yet. But he's going to be locking down his B hill so far, and now he sees 2 targets right here in front of him. Going to be picking up his Lancer. No more shots left there in that torque boat, but he's going to be locking down his B hill. But when we see smokes thrown at this level of gameplay, that means that a push is about to come, and you see Echo Fox push it up into this B hill.
Yes, they are indeed. Praise is still going to be in there. He tries to land a couple of good shots. Toy and Ribs able to get a couple of kills to the name. Ribs actually finds himself a double Clounce and Crash. Both do go down. Now they're Praised just looking to try and land some shots across the map. Echo Fox trying to lock in that 2-1 hill advantage, but the C hill still now going to be neutralized. The A is being taken in Team EnVyUs. Flick of a switch again. It's like they shift into 6th gear. All of a sudden, they're now threatening for a trip cap. And guess what, Blaze? They've locked it in. Team EnVyUs looking at making a serious statement to the rest of the competitors here at the Atlantic City Open. As I mean, a 5-0 lead here against Echo Fox. This is an Echo Fox team that we both praised so highly before this series, saying, hey, maybe this is the team that breaks into the top 3 this event.
Well, it looks like we have our answer, and hey, they still definitely can be that top 3 team here in this event. But Team EnVyUs just far much more prepared. Hey, Benson, these are our defending champions here. You know, these guys, you know, they're out here and they're ready to defend their title. Echo Fox, you know, when it comes down to the placement, they still have nades in their arsenal to place, or they can just do what I like to say, do a YOLO pick.
YOLO.
You know, 2 big power weapons on the map, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Maybe they can get a preview of how this next matchup, well, how second half will turn out for them.
And this was almost as if what they were supposed to do towards that kind of, you know, 2 rounds ago, right? You dropped that boom and workshop. Maybe the last couple of rounds shape out a little bit differently, but it has been dropped here in round number 6. Now, of course, we're at 20-second respawn delay. So we're going to see potentially this round going maybe a little bit differently. As we can see on board now with Kyle. As we actually just got news. Obviously, we told you a little bit earlier on that it was, in fact, Splice who actually lost to Hazard. So we're going to have Optic Gaming versus Hazard to close out the evening. Well, guess what that means? Splice are going to be playing Epsilon.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure the winner of that will then hold the record for the highest international team's placement so far on the Gears Pro circuit.
That's
so
gonna
that
be insane.
matchup is, as the cool kids say, dumb lit.
And we saw the preview on our Gears Fight Night about 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, we did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Wow. And we actually get to see it online as well. Oh,
And
I'm
I want to say
excited.
that preview, Epsilon came out on top. No, or there was a Splice. I think Epsilon came.
It
No,
was-
my fault. Well, it was Epsilon. Epsilon came out on top in that preview.
Yes.
But they were on international hosts. You know, you had
Close
2
games.
European hosts and 2 East Coast hosts. And not saying that as an excuse, but you know that's a lot of ping.
That game is going to be a fantastic one to watch, of course, and I believe that may actually be on our feature station, so we'll keep you updated with how that one goes and probably go for a live look at it at some point in that because, as I mentioned, that is going to be a phenomenal game, a must-watch, essentially, from this event. Again, both those 2 teams fighting for the highest international placement. This one, though, it is going to be Echo Fox knocking on the door for a trip cap and domination, and I believe they're also going to be able to get it. So they're holding on, but again, this is a steep mountain that they're going to need to climb here if they want to try and debunk Team EnVyUs.
It really is, and you know that's a weird round right there when you have 2 big major power weapons on the map. When we say major power weapons, we mean boom shot, M-bar, torque bow, drop shot. Those weapons hold a lot of weight, and even a sniper can be thrown in that equation as well. You know, because of course, depending on who's playing that matchup, we've seen a lot of 6 snipers out here. You know, over the last few weeks. So, but all this is going to be halftime. The heels will flip and all weapons will be removed off the map here. And the main focus of the fights will be rotated down low towards the barn area.
Yes, they will. And worth mentioning, Ribs still slaying very well. 18 kills to his name so far here in map number 2. Team EnVyUs just 2 rounds away now from closing this one out and progressing through to the winners bracket final on Championship Sunday, of course, tomorrow here at the Atlantic City Open. On board with Praised for now. That's going to be, of course, from Team EnVyUs. He should be able to clean up. Franco does so in style. Now, of course, looking over toward that E-Hill. Still going to be neutral, but Team EnVyUs, I mean, they're sniffing it out already, and it looks as if they're going to get control.
Praise did a good job. He knew he was in a bad situation, so what he did was he created space, you know, between himself and his opponent to give his teammates some space to work with to try to save his life right there rather than just going for a quick up A shot or, you know, just closing that gap between him and his opponent.
Now looking at clouts from Echo Fox as Echo Fox are trying to just kind of turn the tide here in this first round of the second half. And I feel like for Echo Fox, you need someone to just go off. You need a Kyle moment almost like we saw in map number 1. You need 4 or 5 kills being strung together in quick succession. Get some energy on that side of the booth.
Like the double kill he just got.
I don't want to say I'm Yoda, Blaze, but you know, you watch Fight Night, you know, sometimes I have a little habit of calling those kind of things. But, but again, you need that kills to translate to energy. You need the energy to translate into the main stage. That's the only way Echo Fox stand any chance whatsoever of coming back against his Team EnVyUs squad.
And, you know, right there, we're going to see Kyle kind of get baited right there by Franco, but they will be able to push Team EnVyUs back here and control this hill. They're still playing, you know, with their lives on the line. Echo Fox hasn't you know, they haven't dropped the beat yet, you know, so to speak. They're still fighting here in this matchup, and now they're trying to defend this E-Hill on the barn. It gets one, but Toy cleans up Kyle there.
Yes, he does indeed. Now Toy sends his direction over towards the E-Hill. There's going to be a couple of players either side of him, and Toy may have actually got a little bit too overzealous, but he was just a distraction the whole time. Solos hit the flank, cleans up Clounce, cleans up Franco. E-Hill back in favor of Team EnVyUs, and Envy are looking good to potentially send this to match point. Of course, as it stands, it's a 5-1 lead, but the score in this round, 153 to 136. Kyle just trying to work over with Crushmo. Once again, they're going to try and plan an assault over towards that E-Hill, but at some point, I think, you know, you're going to have to start thinking and looking at that score, Blaze. You're going to need a trip cap or at least a double cap and a neutralization if you want to win this round.
You definitely do, you know, especially going forward. So, right here, getting a few kills right here, transferring. You're going to have Team EnVyUs close to going to match point here and trying to cap up this neutral hill. They're going to be backing down here in Team EnVyUs. They will be losing the F-Hill here as well. This is going to be their round. They have Echo Fox against the ropes here, unless somebody can decap D very soon.
Someone needs to be on the D-Hill about now, and it isn't going to happen from Echo Fox and as well Team EnVyUs. Just have so much map control. They now go 6-1 up here in game number 2. As now they find themselves at match point, looking very good to close this out. And I mean, we always talk about it whenever we get to this point. It'd be great to see a comeback of this size, but more than likely, Blaze, just not going to happen.
I agree with you there, Benson. You know, as we always see when teams get to match point, we see bolder weapon placements, and Echo Fox is going to put that boom shot.
And this just hasn't worked all series. Echo Fox, they've been trying it. They've tried boom shot twice now. They've tried drop shot. They've tried talk bow twice as well. And everything they put down, Team EnVyUs has just happily countered.
Yeah, and that's just because they're losing their fights. They have to, with the weapons being there, you still have to win your initials, and Team EnVyUs is very, very great on those initials. And if Echo Fox can win that, they can be rewarded with something to help them chain together a few dominations to quickly close the gap here and come back to the game.
Just not a fan of seeing it when you're match point down.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, let's see it round 2 so you can start playing around it and start placing weapons around it.
Exactly.
Because it looks desperate at that point.
I mean, it is desperate. It's 100% a desperation play, and guess what? I don't think it may have necessarily worked this round. Team EnVyUs with the numerical advantage. They're going to cap the E-Hill as well because of that drop shot comes in. Toy Soldier's going to grab it, but his teammates, they're already over at the F-Hill. This round could be over extremely quickly. Crushmo trying to stay alive for Echo Fox and keep their hopes and dreams of progressing through to a winner's bracket final still alive and well. The F-Hill, of course, now will be controlled by Echo Fox, but at any point, you know, Toy, if he wants to just start to skip over towards that F-Hill, he does have that boom shot in hand.
Yes, he does here, but they're going to wait. They're going to make sure Ribs gets up. Toy, he's going to trade off. He's going to take out his teammate and Kyle with that boom, and he gets another one. There's only 2 members left alive here of Echo Fox, and they're trying to push down. Crushmo is one of these members. They're both together, and they already have somebody on top of their home hill. Crushmo has to go back here and defend this F-Hill, and actually Fran tagged the smoke on the ground to know when he was coming, but Crushmo brought enough time for Kyle to get there.
Yes, he did. It was looking close, though. The E-Hill is going to be retaken by Team EnVyUs. Kyle just trying to get something going for Echo Fox, trying to string together a couple of kills, get that momentum back in his favor. But as of now, it's just not going well at all, I think it's fair to say. Team EnVyUs, look at the lead, 110 now to 60 points, and it's spiraling out of control. Echo Fox, they need to react, and they need to do something very, very quickly.
They really do here, Benson. They're trying everything here. This is going to be a crucial team fight. They will be down here by at least 60 or so points. It's looking like Echo Fox will need a trip cap, but Fran gets a triple there on top of the hill. And I think he got, he got the double. But, you know, him and Prey's name looked alike right there. I thought he got 2 kills in one shot for a second.
Teamwork, that's all that matters. Team EnVyUs, they're on the F-Hill as well. Are they going to be able to secure the trip cap domination? Doesn't look like anyone from Echo Fox is going to be there, and that will be GG's. EnVyUs make a serious statement that they are still the #1 team in Gears of War esports. A 7-1 victory in map number 2. It was a 7-3 victory as well in map number 1. But that will, of course, now be EnVyUs progressing through to our winners bracket final tomorrow on Championship Sunday.
Man, such a good matchup. It started off with so much fire, but Echo Fox, they really shouldn't be too down from that one. You know, take the lesson and keep on fighting here.